What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be, and welcome back for the last and final time to Destiny Nights. If you have not heard the news, this game is officially shutting down on July the 28th. Now I knew that 2020 would see a lot of shutdown games. I just didn't know that they would be this close together. So since this has inadvertently become a thing, I decided, you know what? It is now time for a dedicated playlist. So if you want the most up-to-date news on the hottest shutdown games, ladies and gentlemen, FG got you covered in one little convenient playlist aptly named Shutdown Games. So here's all the shutdown games that we covered, and someone in my comment section a couple of days ago was like, FG, why you all of a sudden covering shutdown games? Not all of a sudden. As you guys can see, I covered Marvel Avengers Alliance 2 when it shut down 3 years ago, and not just mobile games. I was doing PC games, I did Infinite Crisis, EverQuest Next, Landmark, Battleborn. There was this point in this channel's life that I thought I wanted to do like death game analysis, like a post-mortem, if you will. But then a guy named Nerdslayer started doing it, and it were way better than mine. I was like, all right, you got those. That's your content. I'm out. So there you go. Let's actually jump into the game, ladies and gentlemen, starting off as we always do with the heroes that you can collect. Now, we all know that art is subjective, but I have got to assume, with a capital assume, if you focus group tested a bunch of different art styles, I gotta think that NBA Jam big head art style would have to have one of the smallest scopes of appeal. I have got to assume that, because you guys know that I put a very big emphasis on heroes that you can collect, and I just feel like they're super important to the life of a game. And when you're trying to kind of like get people excited over characters like this, I think you're already at an uphill battle. Now, in spite of the big head NBA Jam art style, I do think that some of the characters kind of break through that aesthetic limitation and still actually look pretty attractive. Like, this character looks good. If I saw this character on a banner, would I go crazy for her? No, but I still think she looks okay. But like these characters, and I know he's low rarity, but these are the characters that people see when they first play the game. And I find it very hard to imagine that people are really getting excited over this main character. Like, looking at him and being like, this is the guy that I want to go save the world with. I just don't see it. And take a look at these two right here. Here we have a 5-star character right over here compared to a 2-star character. Sure, she has a little bit more detail on her outfit, but is she really that much cooler looking in any way? You know what I mean? Like, this art style is just a very big limitation on the game. Even like the most hardcore characters, something about this character, like he's supposed to exude like this super antagonist aura, but I'm just like, he's kind of cute, right? It's like, I don't know, maybe that's a different appeal, maybe it is. And some of these characters do, like I said, in spite of the art style, just kind of break through that and still look rather good. Never mind, I take it back. This game's art style is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Why did this game shut down? It's crazy. Anyway, that's the characters that are currently in the game. Now, the game has already shut down the ability to buy things out of the store. So if you try to buy things in the Ruby shop or something like that, you're gonna get an error, which I definitely appreciate. But this is also gonna be yet another game that did not give their player base anything at the shutdown. I don't understand this, and maybe you guys can help me out on this, because for the life of me, I cannot wrap my head around why game developers, when their games are shutting down, why don't they just give people a ton of diamonds? Why not? Who cares? The only thing that I can think of is that maybe they don't want to, because the game is going to be online until July the 28th. So the only thing that I can think of is that they don't want to give people a bunch of diamonds because they don't want to disrupt the players that are still playing the game in a way. But I feel like this. I spent money in 7 Deadly Sins, a lot of money. If it's shut down tomorrow, I wouldn't be mad if they gave everyone 1 billion diamonds. I wouldn't care. Actually, I wouldn't even be playing. So let me know what you guys feel about that. Am I off base on that? Should they give people diamonds? Should they not? I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. So here we are in combat, and believe it or not, combat is not this game's issue. I think this game's action RPG combat system is actually very unique and actually pretty engaging. As you guys can see, you bring 3 characters into combat. Your 4th character is kind of like this ultimate meter attack that builds up over time. And what you can also do is move your characters around to get them out of telegraphs. You can also slow down time to aim your little telegraph attacks to enemies. So what you can, in theory, do, and this is something that I love Diablo for. This game has nothing to do with Diablo, but stick with me. In Diablo, I loved just kind of rounding up enemies in a big old circle and then DPSing them down. You can, in theory, do this. So I can kind of move around here, bring all these enemies together, put them in a nice little straight line telegraph, and do more damage that way. So that's actually very cool. The combat system in this game is not the reason why it didn't grab hold. We'll go ahead and put it on increased speed along with autoplay. Another thing that I think a lot of these games definitely have to have, if you have an interesting, intricate, more engaging and active combat system, that's great, but you also have to have a degree of autoplay as well, and this game does have it, so they did a good job there. I don't care how good your combat system is, you can have Devil May Cry Bayonetta combat in your game. If you have to do it every single day, it's eventually going to get tiring. So good on them having a good active combat system along with autoplay features, speed up features. Good job on that one. In addition to that, they also have your pretty traditional hero collector flow. You have your campaign screen here where you're going to go from stage to stage to stage, as you guys can see, clearing off these stages, 3-starring them. And then once you 3-star them, you can also auto repeat them. So they're rounding the bases. Subjective art style, sure, but good combat system, decent flow when it comes to a hero collector, decent quality of life with auto repeat. It has everything that you would expect from a hero collector. Once again, you have all of these campaign stages here. You have your daily resource grinds here, which all hero collectors pretty much need to have. You also have like a faction boss here as well. We'll go ahead and jump in here really quick. It has everything that you would expect a hero collector should have. All right, we got our team set up. So, like I said, this game has everything that you'd expect it to have. A story campaign mode, daily resource grinds, bosses, guilds, PvP. It pretty much has what every other hero collector has on the market. So what is it missing? Why didn't this game catch on? Well, I think this game didn't catch on because it lacked the hook. And I'm very weak, so that's why I wanted to show you the boss, but I ain't got no power to be there fighting it anyway. But it lacked the hook. And in my opinion, that hook is the characters. Now, I get made fun of all the time when it comes to this, but I believe this to my heart, that a hero collector can only be as fun as the heroes that you can collect. And the reason why I think this is even more appropriate for this game is the fact that when you play a hero collector, right? Like I said before, you can play a hero collector and do PvP, you can do guild stuff, you can do campaign, story. None of that stuff is unique. In my opinion, all of those things that I just mentioned are the bare minimum to get you in. Like that's what you need to get into the club, right? That ain't gonna get you into VIP, all right? All those basic things that'll get you inside the club, you're in there, you're dancing. But what gets you to VIP, in my opinion, is having really awesome characters, because I feel that people love to power up their favorite characters and let them go fight big bosses and stages and encounters. Because when you think about it, think about anime for a second, right? What is the biggest draw to like Shonen Jump anime? Is their favorite characters fighting bigger and bigger and bigger bosses and enemies and antagonists. That's why people love anime. So to a lesser degree, hero collectors kind of follow that same pathway, right? We collect our favorite heroes and then we match them up against the game's biggest boss encounters and biggest raids encounters. And that's a big reason why I think a lot of hero collectors should always constantly have updated side stories, updated raids, updated side bosses. All those things need to be constantly added to the game, because one thing that people like more than using their favorite characters against a boss encounter or a big raid or a big dragon, the only thing they like more than that is allowing their favorite characters to fight something that's even stronger than that. All right, think about anime for a second. Every single time there's a big boss that's supposed to be the strongest person in the whole anime, what happens after that? Someone else comes that's even stronger, and someone else comes that's even stronger than that. And people love seeing their favorite characters fight those characters and fight those increased odds and fight those bigger boss encounters. The same exact thing applies to hero collectors. So if you have a game like this that ticks all of the boxes, story, campaigns, daily resource grinds, raids, guilds, guild PvP, arena PvP, they tick all those boxes. The one thing that you have got to get right is to give people a reason to be engaged and connected to their characters. And I just don't feel like that character right there is enough to get people wanting to be like, I cannot wait for this character to go fight the next boss and the next boss. I can't wait to see how he performs. I can't wait to ult that next big boss with this character right here. I don't think you can. I don't think this is that. Not to mention the thing that we always talk about when it comes to new banners and things of that nature, that a character like that is not going to entice people that are not playing the game to come play the game. So you're in this just a draining player-based pool where you just constantly lose players, you lose players, you lose players. New players are looking at your game, they're glancing at it, they're seeing stuff like this, and they're not downloading. So you're just on borrowed time. You're absolutely on borrowed time when it comes to that. And speaking of borrowed time, if we go over here to the Play Store, take a look. This game was last updated on March the 18th, 2019. So a long time ago has this game been in maintenance mode, right? March 18th was the last update. It is now 2020 in May and is now officially shutting down because I feel like even though it had 1 million+ downloads, I think they just had a very hard time replacing players as they left. There was no excitement. Like, when's the last time you heard anyone talk about Destiny Knights? Probably never. So that's just my thought process on why the game shut down. I think it ticked all of the necessary boxes to make a good hero collector. I just think that they really underestimated how important their art style choice was going to be in the longevity and the life of this game. And I just don't think an art style like this, if you want to just be like a niche game, maybe this art style is important to your vision. All right, cool. But if you think that you're gonna have enough life and longevity to make a game as a service, as games continue to look better and better and better and better and better, that's just not gonna be the case. It's just not here in 2020. Once again, my name is FG3000. I do thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.